anything you're going through, whether it be you being abandoned, whether with you being an orphan, you can get through it. Just work hard, be consistent, be disciplined. Discipline, consistency, and hard work is the key to success. At 2 years old, I was left by my parents with my older sisters. I'm still trying to find my way through life, but at the moment I am still a Christian.
What was the story behind your parents leaving you, abandoning you?
I don't really know why they left, but from what I am told is that my dad lost a lot of money and he was in a lot of debt. So even if he wanted to come back, he couldn't.
Where was he?
He was here in South Africa, but then he left to Congo and my mom followed him.
And they left you here?
Yeah, they left me here with my siblings.
Why did they leave you?
I don't know. I wish I did. Till today, I don't really know.
Are you in speaking terms with them? Do you know them?
Yeah, I've never seen them physically, but I've spoken to them over the phone. Only recently, I would say about a year ago, that's when I started to speak with them on the phone on a regular basis. But before that, I never heard them about them before the 2 years.
What did they tell you was the reason they left you when you were small?
I'm going to be very honest with you. I never really asked that question because growing up in a Congolese family, no one actually tells you anything. They just want you to blow it off and make it seem like it's okay. Because when I'm allowed to be upset at my parents, but when I'm upset at them, all my siblings are like, they're your parents, you shouldn't do that, you're gonna make them feel bad. So everyone wants to make it seem like it was normal for your parents leaving you, and it was normal for them not being there for 18 years of their life, and it wasn't. That's why I've refrained to talking to them. I want to stop for my own safety, because talking to them, I want to ask these questions, but I know I'll never get the answer that I truly want. It will always be blown off or rejected in a way. That's just how they are. That's just how they grew up, so I don't really blame them. I was diagnosed with sickle cell at the age of 5 when I was with my sisters, and randomly my nose started bleeding non-stop. My nose couldn't stop bleeding, and when we were at the hospital, that's when I was diagnosed with sickle cell, because they saw the sickles in my blood. And for those of you who do not know what sickle cell is like a blood disease where your blood cells are not fully formed. Normal blood cells are fully circular, ours are shaped like sickles, and that can cause blockage in your bloodstream that will cause pain, known as a sickle cell crisis.
What was your condition before and after?
Before I met spiritual courts, I would fall sick often, not only because of where I was living, but because of the environment I was in. The school I was in wasn't a good school, and the environment I was staying in right here in this flat right here was not a good environment, which caused me to have stress, anxiety, depression, which elevated my sickle cell crisis. But when I found the center, when I found spiritual courts, I felt some sense of hope and some sense of positivity, and that's when I found that I didn't have to worry about life as much, and that I could just work hard for anything I want in my life, because I'm the key to the destiny I want. And that elevated my life into a more positive, more spiritual, focused based life, and I created my own core values that decreased my stress and elevated my positivity, which also decreased my sickness. I do not get sick as often. I still get sick, but not as often the way I used to. Before, every few days I'll be sick, stop, and then sick again. But now, the last time I had a sickle cell crisis was in March, and before that I haven't had a sickle cell crisis in almost a year. When my brother-in-law passed away, he was in a hit and run. That's when I decided that I didn't have time to depend on anyone, because everyone was always depending on themselves and focusing on their children. All my siblings are old, so they're always focusing on their own families. No one is really focusing on me. So I started job hunting, and by my surprise, my principal and Aunt Sophia knew Uncle Ikram, and they contacted him to get me the job.
And I'm the owner of the Butcher's Knife in Norwood, Johannesburg. Israel is a student at the Spiritual Court Center, and we brought him in and helped him on an extra income while he's studying. He's a very dedicated young child. He's very motivated in his schoolwork, in his studies, and he's very ambitious in what he wants to do with his future. And he's a well-mannered boy. He's good with the customers, and he's a real asset to the business.
My siblings also, to them it didn't really matter. They were just happy that I could now find my own money and take care of myself, because I'm the only one taking care of myself. I'm the only one buying myself lotion, clothes, school transport, school lunch. I'm doing all of this on my own, so it didn't really matter to them. They were just happy to see that I'm growing as a man at a young age, and in a young age. So it was happy they were happy, and Sophia was happy, my principal was happy, everyone was happy for me, because I could now find my own independence in life at a very young age.
Ezekiel, what advice would you want to give those who are underprivileged, or maybe those who think that they cannot have anything useful to do with their lives? What advice do you have for them, judging from your own experience?